Take one.
Okay, grade 5. So we are moving on today. Again, I guess not moving on because we're doing the same thing, but we are comparing fractions today. This is the worksheet we're going to work on right now. Okay, so dig that out. I'm going to do an example for you that I've made for myself. So what you have to do is shade the correct fraction of each shape, then compare each pair of fractions using the symbols greater than, less than, and equal to. So here I've made myself a little cheat sheet, which is good if you need it, that's okay. So greater than, we always have the alligator mouth pointing towards the number that's greater. So this will be greater than, this will be less than, and that is our equal sign, okay? So in my example, I've drawn two circles that are broken up into 8 parts each. And I want to know, is 2/8 the bigger fraction or is 5/8 the bigger fraction? Now before you even do the shading, what I want you to think about is, okay, this means 2 parts out of 8. And this one means 5 parts out of 8. So without even shading it in, I think, okay, is 2 parts out of 8 bigger or 5 parts out of 8 bigger? Well, 5, if I shade it in 5 parts, of course that's going to be bigger, right? So you actually don't even need these circles to figure that out. 2/8 is going to be less than 5/8, but let's shade in our circles to confirm that. So I'm going to shade in 1 part here and 2 here. Okay, so there's my 2/8 shaded in. Now I'm going to come here and shade in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at that. I just confirmed what I already knew, that 5/8 is the bigger fraction. Okay, so which way is my alligator mouth going to want to go? It's going to want to point to the bigger number. So 2/8 is less than 5/8. Okay, so that's how you do that. So in this sheet, you're just going to have all the same denominator. So you can actually think about it first, maybe make your conclusion and write in your answer, and then do the shading just to confirm your answer. This second sheet is a little bit different. We're going to do this one right now too. It's a little different because your denominators are different. Here, we've got a 1/3 and a 1/4, 5/6, 3/4. So it's a little different. This one you actually have to figure out. You can't just look at it and necessarily know which one's bigger. You might, but maybe you won't. So I've made myself an example here. So I'm going to shade in 2 out of 4 parts of this circle. So let's go ahead and do 1 and 2. And I want to compare it to 2/3. Which one is bigger? So I'm going to color in 2 parts of my 3 parts. So 1 and 2. Okay, so now I'm looking at my circles, okay, and I think that my 2/3 is bigger. Would you agree? Because this is only half of the circle is shaded in, and this one a little bit more than half, right? So 2/3 is a little more than half, and 2/4 is half. So 2/3 is actually bigger than 2/4. So once again, my alligator wants to eat the bigger number, and 2/4 is less than 2/3. Okay, so that's what you're going to do for that one. And in this one, if you want to try to think about it mathematically and try to figure out which one is bigger before you do the shading, awesome. If you need to do the shading, awesome. You do whatever works for you. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you in the next video.